So firstly, we'll open up Inkscape. This will enable us to convert the picture into a SVG file. So we'll just go to File and Open and select the picture that we want. And I'll use a picture of my handwriting of my friend's name, Melissa. Open. Alright, and we'll accept the default setting. Okay. Yeah, and now we can select this picture and go to Path, Trace Bitmap. Here we'll choose brightness cutoff because as you can see in the picture, the background is pretty bright, and therefore if we choose brightness cutoff, it can help us to cut off the background that we don't want and just keep the handwriting that we want here. And so you can also choose live preview, and therefore you'll be able to see the change here. Like this is the part that we keep Melissa, but we don't have the background there anymore. And it is also very important for us to choose this remove background selection, because it can like help us to cut off the background that we don't want. Okay, and then now we can choose OK. And here, let's go back to the picture here. It may seem like nothing happened, but if you select your picture and press delete on your keyboard, you see now what we left is actually our handwriting here without the background, and it is not an image anymore. It is the scalable vector graphics, and it is actually makes up of vectors, because if you select this one, edit path by nodes, you'll be able to see like your handwriting is now actually made up of a lot of vectors. And if you drag one of the vectors, you are actually able to like change the shape of your handwriting now, but we'll just keep it like what it was originally like. And now we can go to File and Save As, and we'll select as there are a lot of format here, but we'll select the SVG format. It doesn't matter if it's like Inkscape one or Plan one, as long as it's SVG format, and we'll save it on our desktop. Oops. Okay, and now let's go back to our desktop, and you can see that we have our original image here, and we have the SVG file that we just created. And then next step, we can open up our Blender. Where's my, okay, Blender is here. Okay, so and then in Blender we can go to File, which is on the top left corner, and then we can import, select import, and we'll actually import the SVG file that we just created. It's on desktop here. Alright, and import SVG. And after you import it, it's really small that you can hardly see it. Therefore, we'll go to our top right corner, and here you'll be able to see an object called curve here, and this is actually the object that we just imported in. So we'll select curve here, which will help us to select the object back in the main screen. And after you select curve there, when we come back here, you can just press S on your keyboard, which means scaling. So after you press S, you'll be able to scale the object by moving your mouse. So you we need to scale it until we are able to see it. Okay. Now it should be big enough because we are able to see it now. And yeah, so you can just select the object and then go to the right side, and there are different tabs here, but what we need is just this curved one. And under the geometry section, there's one called extrude. This will help us to add height to the object. And so I'll just put a really small number here, and this number will represent the height that we added to the object. And I'll put like 0.0001. I use a really small number because I don't want I don't want the file that I saved later to be too big, because if it is too big, it's really hard to import it in like on Tinkercad later. So I'll use a really small one to like make it thin here. Like although it is really thin here, we'll be able to change its dimension and make it thicker on Tinkercad later. So it doesn't matter that the height here is really small. So yeah, I'll just put it like that, and then I'll go back to File again and choose this, and we'll save it as a STL format. So yeah, so Blender helps us to convert SVG format into a STL format. So yeah, I'll save it on my desktop and I'll call it, I'll name it 5. Okay. Oh, I already have it there actually. Okay. Alright, so now on the desktop, we are able to see we have our original image and the SVG version of the image, and finally our STL version of the image. And now we can go to Tinkercad, and here under the import section, we can use choose file and choose the file that we want, which is the STL file that we just created. And we'll also choose inch here, because the file that we just created is the STL file is actually very small, so it wouldn't work for mm because it's too small for mm, that we are not able to like import it under mm selection. So we'll choose inch here and then choose import. And now, like after we import it, we are able to change its dimension like really in a really flexible way and very easy here. And also since like it was really thin originally, but we are able to change the height here like very easy. So that's why I say it doesn't matter when in Blender I put in a really small number for the height there. And also like it is actually on Tinkercad that that I like how I created my wish card is that I design different components of my wish card individually first, and then imported them like all onto Tinkercad. And so on Tinkercad I'm able to like put them together and edit them and put them in the like right dimension that I want. And so but yeah, but you can also like find your own way to do it. And I think like whatever works for you, it's fine. So but yeah, this is basically just how to make the 2D image, like your 2D handwriting or drawings, into a 3D printable form. Alright, thank you.